welcome or welcome back to the CaprisunCrochet virtual truck stop. I am your host, CaprisunCrochet. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy. Once again, working on the waistband of some shorts. And today, this video is going to be a little different because I'm going to be talking about a current event that's happening right now. So, the moon, it's about to be in Gemini, and we're going to have a new moon. And it's going to be very exciting. New moons mean something is going to start. This is going to be something that's going to start for you. And today, we're going to see what area of life is going to be affected by this new thing that is starting. If you have Aries in your first house or an Aries rising, that means that Gemini is in your third house. So the third house is the house of communication. It's the house of short distance traveling. It's the house of siblings. It's the house of kind of more mundane things that pertain to you. It kind of is like the sixth house in that way. But yeah, the third house is about communication. So this could be maybe something new that opens up for you concerning communication. It could also be something maybe that is limiting your communication. There's going to be a really harsh square with Saturn in Pisces, and that's just going to be on the new moon in Gemini in general, no matter where that is for you. Saturn will be transiting in, I believe it is Aquarius, and it's in Pisces, no, Aquarius, yeah. So it's going to be making a harsh square, and that's going to be a little bit much, but it'll be okay. If you have a Taurus rising, Gemini is going to be in your second house. So the second house is the house of finances, it's the house of resources. It's just the house of the things that you physically have, the things that you manifest for yourself, the things that are yours, your resources. You might find that you don't really like the resources that you have, or I don't know, because with Gemini, this is like new, fresh, exciting energy, but it's also like not certain energy. So this might be something that you just truly do not see coming, or it might be something, because it does have that mercurial energy to it, that you just have to like think about. It might also involve numbers. Thinking about the second house with the Taurus rising and Gemini, the moon being in your second house. This also might be something that affects you a lot. So yeah, just check out for that and just be careful of that. Let's move on to Gemini rising. This is going to be in your first house. This is your house of self. If you have the moon in the first house in general, this is going to be a lot for you. But when the moon transits into your first house, generally it's a pretty good time. Feel pretty good about yourself, or feel like you look pretty good, you know. I find that happens for me. Sometimes it depends, because I do have a Scorpio rising, so that's neither here nor there. Anyways, new moon in Gemini in the first house. You could be changing your appearance. You could be maybe getting some new clothes, maybe changing up your hair. Maybe you are changing up the way that you approach different things. Maybe you're changing up like your intellect. You know what I mean? Or finding different ways to stimulate your brain intellectually. Let's move on next to Cancer rising. So if you have a Cancer rising, you have your moon in your 12th house. This is going to be interesting. The moon is transiting the 12th house. You might find that you are sad for no reason. You don't really know why. And it's because the moon is in the 12th house. You might find that you have maybe a new spiritual connection or a new sense of spirituality that you can tap into, or this might be a good time for you to find a religion, maybe get into a church or something like that. This is just something for you to step into yourself and to also realize like what's going on inside of your brain. You probably have an incredibly crazy inner world. Your mind is probably going like a million miles a minute because having Gemini in your 12th house and your subconscious, it's tough. So I would say like if you do have this going on, this seems like a more tougher aspect to have going on. So just be kind to yourself and take it easy, and just whatever new things come along, take them as they come, and you're doing great. Just keep going. If you have a Leo rising, you are going to have Gemini in your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of networking, it's the house of friends, it's the house of sociability, it's the house of like computers almost. Maybe you're finding that you have a larger group of support than you thought you had. With the moon there, this is something that's very important to you. There's an emphasis on having this new family and having this newfound support. So definitely, if that resonates with you, I support always having a support system is a good thing. So I think that's really awesome. Lean into that and definitely get into it. A ladybug just landed on my bed. Flipped it. And I would definitely say, even though Leos like to isolate, like Leo risings, they like to isolate because of their Scorpio 4th house, but don't. Just don't. Let's move on next to Virgo rising. If you have a Virgo rising, you have your Gemini in the 10th house, which means this new moon in Gemini is going to be transiting your 10th house. And the 10th house is the house of careers. It's also the highest point of your chart. So this is going to be a very public thing for you, maybe not public like celebrity level, but this is something that you could be experiencing with other people, or other people are watching you go through. I don't really know how that could translate for you, but it definitely has to do with publicity. Maybe you are feeling a new way about publicity, or maybe you're finding that the spotlight that you once thought was okay on you, you don't really like it, or maybe you do like it, but you don't know how to deal with it, and you're trying to deal with it, but I'm not sure. But the 10th house definitely has to deal with your work and the things that you do. So definitely watch out for that, and watch out for people maybe watching you, and just see how you feel with that moon in your 10th house. Thank you guys so much for crocheting with me and talking with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys stay safe. Do not do anything I wouldn't do. Make sure you listen to Chaperone. And stay safe. Oh, actually, before I leave, make sure you go watch my other videos, because I have been uploading so consistently. You guys would be proud. So make sure you go watch, okay? Okay, bye. See you next week.